Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Grumpy Old Spurs. Tonight will be the obligatory keep, loan, sell, get in the bin, whatever you want to do with these players. We've got obviously myself hosting tonight, and you'll have to bear with me. I took my daughter to watch Beyonce last night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I didn't actually go. I sat in the car for 3 hours and waited for her. Then drove her home and got home at 2:00 this morning. 3 hours sleep and up for work. So I'm absolutely knackered. I'm a little bit delirious. So you'll have to bear with me. But with me as always, well, pretty much always, first guest tonight, Dave. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, mate. To be honest with you, I'm a bit all over the place. I had this really strange nightmare during the night. Two men dressed in identical suits were talking about red wine. And I'm feeling I'm all out of shape, and then something else keeps on time.
It's too hot to walk the dogs. Too hot to walk the dogs over here. He knows we'd be reporting him.
It's on his final warning.
Yeah. So obviously,
we can say that, Connor.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, you all right?
Yeah. I meant to say hello to him. Sorry, Matt.
I was just about to come across and introduce, our newest fullish time member of the Grumpy Old Spurs show is Connor. All right, Dave. Connor, how are you, mate?
Yeah, very well, thank you. A bit hot. Bringing a bit of youth to Grumpy Old Spurs, I suppose, now.
Yeah. Grumpy younger Spurs, you are. You're bringing it down, indeed. Bringing the age down, mate.
Indeed.
Now, do you two guys, before we, like I said, I've had my tea, sat down and had a little doze so I could try and be as tip-top shape as I could for this show tonight. And I've missed, apparently, an interview that was put out on the Spurs. Was it on YouTube? Was it on the social medias, lads? And it's Mr. Levy and our new Venkateshia, is it? His name? Doing a little interview, telling us their hopes and dreams for Tottenham Hotspur. Connor, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. Interestingly, they haven't plugged it on social media. It went straight to YouTube. They haven't actually pushed it through Twitter or anything. But yeah, I have watched it. Yeah, it was slightly nauseating, I have to say, when they spoke about the red wine. But other than that, Vinay came across well, to be fair. He's a good communicator. I thought we come across well. But the proof will be in the pudding, given Daniel has now promised that he wants to challenge for the Premier League and the Champions League. So we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah. Dave, do you think Mr. Levy's saying he wants to challenge for the Premier League and we're going to give it our all? Or is he saying, I want to challenge for the Premier League as long as we do it in a safe, sustainable, a safe, sustainable way where we have to look after our money and do it, within our means?
Well, I mean, before I answer your incredibly sensible question, I'm going to do something very unsensible, of course. So now in Grumpy Old Spurs, it's the Tuesday night Red Wine Club. And tonight's red wine is a Chateau Bonnet.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's from Bordeaux, 2015. So that's...
drop.
Yep, and so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a Tuesday night Red Wine Club, probably about once a month throughout the season. And we're hoping that Daniel and Vinay can come round and have a nice little drop. I always like to have a glass of Bordeaux at 5:06 a.m. on a working morning.
Well, so you do support Spurs.
Well, that's right. Well, do you want a sensible answer? I thought that... sorry about that. I thought Vinay was... hang on a minute. How very middle class. There's Vinay and Daniel. Thank you very much. And good evening, King Hoddle. I thought Vinay came across... very well, right? I like the fact that they look, obviously this kind of stuff is pre-prepared scripts. We all know that. I like Vinay. I thought he came across very well. I thought Daniel, I think it was I wouldn't call it a classic Levy performance, but I thought it was a solid Levy performance. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it's something that we've come to expect over the years. And the fact that he's now decided, and he's not said for the first time over the years, is that every penny, so that the money that the Beyonce concerts that you sat outside the other night for 3 hours, you driving your daughter and her friends to the Beyonce concert will help us buy Eze this summer. And me and Connor would like to thank you, Gibbo, for that.
Mate, absolutely. You got to do your bit, haven't you? I'm trying to push this thing along. You know, I'm trying to. We've won the Europa League, and now I'm trying to do my bit to kick us on. So,
You're literally driving us to
driving
the next
this,
level.
yeah, driving it on. I want to win the Champions League. I want to win the Premier League. Very much like Daniel Levy apparently said he did. So,
I've often thought you're very similar to Daniel Levy, Gibbo.
Yeah. Not with my money, mate. I wish I could be that. I wish I could be that frugal with my money, Dave. But look, everyone in the chat tonight, we're going to do the. Connor's made some slides up for us. We're going to go through the team, and we're going to say who we should be keeping, who we should be loaning, who we should be selling. I did ask the question: what are we basing it on? And we've sort of said, well, just what we think. And I was like, do we do it thinking about if we want to hit top 4, get as far as we can in the Champions League? But we thought we'd literally be selling pretty much everyone. So, King Hoddle, he's in. Can you remember the days of him poo-pooing Frank? Dave? Can you remember King Hoddle poo-pooing Frank?
Gibbo, no one likes someone who's smug. All right? Come on, Gibbo. All right? I've even had my next door neighbour literally have a go at me this week because we've sacked Ange. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you tell him to do one?
No, because he's my neighbour, so I wouldn't. So, do you mind if I just drive the slides a little bit, Gibbo?
Yes, you drive them.
All right. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be Paratici just for one day. All right. So the way we're going to do this is Connor's done all the slides. Thank you very much. We'll go through we'll go through goalies, defense, midfield, attack. And then we'll go through each one and we'll decide if we want to keep them or sell them. Connor, being the financial wizard, has got his abacus already and good to go. So this is like a Daniel Levy telethon. We're raising money for Daniel Levy. By the end of the show, we will have a kitty for us to kick on and drive towards the Champions League. Now, as I said, you two might do it in a sensible way of talking about whether you keep or sell a player to get in the Champions League and the Domestic Cup next season. I'm going down the route of if I like someone or not. Okay?
Yeah, I thought you would do it that way. Yes.
Funnily enough, that's how I'm going to do it. So, let's start. I hope this is right. The goalkeepers. And maybe, Connor, do you want to explain the old PL rules, CL rules?
Yeah, so very, very briefly, Premier League rules basically split into whether someone's homegrown, i.e. From England, or at least trained in England, non-homegrown or under 21. You can have a maximum of 17 non-homegrown players. So that means you have to have a minimum of 8 homegrown. And then for under 21s, it's unlimited. So we can have as many under 21s as we want to form a 25-man squad. And then the Champions League rules are basically slightly different. So you have club trained. So this is people that are basically trained through the club from the academy. So right now we only have Austin, who's on this slide, as club trained. We have to have up to 4. So if we can't fill those 4 spaces, basically, so right now we've got 1, it would mean that we can only have a 22-man squad in our Champions League A list. Then you have association trained. Again, that's basically those that trained in England, and then non-locally trained. So that's everyone else. And then the B list is basically those kids that have been at the club for more than 3 seasons. And were born after 2003, I think it is. So that would be people like Mikey Moore, Scarlett, those types of individuals.
Right.
We are in real danger here, lads, of actually looking quite professional and knowing what we're doing. Are we happy to stay? Are we happy to go down this route?
Well, I think it's Connor that's professional and knows what he's doing. That's for us. Don't forget, we lost the best Lads of Tottenham Content of the Year award. Remember, Gibbo? We lost to the Tumbleweeds, so we've got a lot of work to do. If we win it next season, that's going to be down to Connor and Leon. Let's be honest. Right, let's go through this list. I'm going to go from the bottom first. Keeley, keep or sell?
Or loan, possibly.
all right. We'll keep loan is kind of. We're going bumbling already.
Loan, I would loan.
Loan
I
is
would
like
loan.
keeping.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would loan.
so the three of us all say
Loan.
loan. So we're sending him out on loan. Are we sending him to where Brian Hill normally goes every year, or somewhere else?
My
I like
Girona.
a championship
Yeah.
loan, hopefully. Championship.
Yeah, I think I'd like to send him. You know where I like to send players on loan?
QPR.
Send them to QPR. Okay. Austin. Now, the thing I want to say about Austin, he made his debut age 26. I genuinely was worried that he was going to be some kind of ball juggling clown who was so inept he didn't know what to do. And I was very surprised on the upside with him. So will we keep, in my opinion, keep him as a third choice keeper?
100%
Yeah.
keep, yeah.
Absolutely. He can be our Scott Carson.
No.
But without the medals.
Well, hang on. He has got a medal. He's got Europa medal.
He hasn't got as many as Carson, though, has he? He has got a medal, yeah.
He's got a medal as facilitated by our ex-Australian coach. Moving on. Okay, so we're not raising much money yet at the moment. Right, Kingsky. Obviously, we will keep him.
Yeah.
I would like to see him do better at shot stopping from distance this season.
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned. And so I say keep. Gents?
Go on, Connor. I'm gonna keep him. I think he's got a genuine shot at maybe becoming first choice goalkeeper. Very controversial, maybe.
Okay, so let's move on to the controversial. So I'll kick off. Vicario, ready? I want to sell him. I
thought you would.
Look at that Europa League final. Look at Mickey van der Ven's the best footballing moment, apart from the goal, of course, which wasn't even that great a goal, of the whole game was Mickey van der Ven's clearance off the line, which, of course, I would have watched live if I hadn't had coffee spilt everywhere here. However, we move on. Listen, when I flip-flop on subjects, I own it, right? Now, when we bought him, I said, typical Levy, didn't do the Raya deal. And then up until when he got found out by Guardiola in the Cups 2 seasons ago, and people started putting people on him at the corners, I don't think he exudes calm. I think we can get a bit of money for him. I want to sell him and buy another goalkeeper. Sell. Gibbo.
Connor? Oh, sorry. Me. I, for the right price, I'd sell him. And there was talk about AC Milan the other day. So, mate, I'd swap him with AC Milan. If you could get that, the French guy, the French keeper, I'd much rather have him. I think Vicario is a decent shot stopper, but I'm totally with you, mate. I do not think he is a calming influence on that back four. He's one of the leadership group that Ange picked, which basically, if that's your leadership group, I don't think it's going to take a lot of, upgrading. So, yeah, for the right money, I would sell. And that doesn't mean I think he's bad. I just think there's people we can get better, or more, like I said, more common influences and stuff. I'm happy to sell.
All right. Now we have the Langer Paratici Vinay transfer committee that we all are. The majority has voted Vicario, but Connor, we obviously have to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I would. I accept both of what you said. I would keep him just because I think there's more pressing squad issues to have to deal with, and so I would personally keep him, but I'm not going to shed any tears if we were to sell him. So I'm obviously outvoted on this one. So sell. What do we reckon? 20 million?
I reckon you could get a little bit more. I think
we
you could get
17, didn't we? Something like that.
Yeah, so I think you could probably get 25.
I reckon we could get 30 million for him.
Well, should we
let's go 25 then? That seems in the middle, doesn't it?
Okay, so we've got the kitties up and running. Tara Vicario and his parents, who are very nice, but they've all got to go. The Vicarios, we're selling a lot of them. Okay,
I get where Connor's coming from, and it's not like high on our list, and you could probably sort other issues out and then revisit that. But and because I think Kinski is excellent with his feet, and I thought he looked when he played,
and he's better on crosses.
Yeah, so
the rule is if Vicario doesn't do well next season, we'll be reminding Connor throughout the season that we wanted to sell him and
He's
that
a
Connor wanted to
fanboy.
keep, and then we'll leak to the press every now and then that we wanted him gone, and Connor. All right, that's the rule. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Because we got
Defenders.
here we go. Look at that. Right, we got a lot of non-locally trained players here, so let's go. We'll go from the bottom up to the top. All right, Dorrington, he won a cup at Aberdeen.
Loan him back out.
All right, let's just loan him. Phillips, who we bought.
One more loan.
I'd sell him personally.
Do you know what? I'm going to go with Connor because I tell you why. Because we bought him. He's one of these that we buy, and clearly what's going on with him, right? And I'm over it. I'm over buying young players. Callum Davenport. You want to do a swap deal for Phillips and Callum Davenport? Let's do that. All right. So I'm with Connor. Get rid. Gibbo wants to do a loan. Right. So how much are we raising for that? Fiver?
5 million, I reckon.
How much did we buy him for? How much did we buy him for?
About the same, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you'd get that. Yeah, 5 million. Probably a championship club will buy him, wouldn't they? They can afford that most.
QPR, maybe.
QPR. West Brom. Birmingham.
Okay. Right. Viskovic.
I'd keep him around. Have a look at him. Highly rated.
I'm going to say something that people won't like for a change. Right?
Never. Go on.
Everyone is waxing lyrical about him, saying that he is amazing, what a great talent, etc., etc. Now, you can clip this up next season. Are we really thinking he is going to come in and be part of the first team squad next year and play some games?
Well, we don't know, do we? This is like he is.
Well, this is the transfer committee. That's what I'm asking the question.
He's played a lot of games at the team he was at in Belgium, sort of like a mid-table Belgian team.
Yeah, he did well. He did well there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done all right there. So I think you've at very least got to have a look at him pre-season. And I mean, like, would you rather have him come in or play like Archie Gray centre back again? That's what you got to look at. If those situations arise again. So I'd have a look at him, and then I wouldn't be adverse to loaning him should they need to.
Kerry says if you're good enough, you can play.
Yeah, absolutely, Kerry.
King Hoddle saying he's been likened to the new Guardiola. He wasn't
not very quick, though, apparently. He's not blessed with pace.
Connor?
I'd loan him personally, just because I think as a centre-back, it's really difficult to burst onto the scene that young.
Yeah,
centre backs.
Where are we sending him?
QPR.
Yeah,
lower Premier League.
Oh, you want to go lower Premier League, like a Danny Rose to Sunderland? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Why don't we send him to Southampton?
Well, yeah. Lots of these players are going to be like linked with Birmingham and West Brom, aren't they? Because Ryan Mason, obviously West Brom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Davis at Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the
QPR,
reason why
because you like them,
I do like QPR, but we'll have a London. Well, I want to send some people to Orient, by the way, because I've got a soft spot for them as well.
What are you thinking then, Dave?
Well, of what's his Viskovic. You know what I'd do? I'd keep him around the group. I like the group. Let's keep him around the first team group until Christmas. Let him come to the staff Christmas party and send him on loan in January.
Can you loan players after the transfer deadline day? If there's some other countries that have got their transfer windows are still open, can you send players out on loan?
Probably.
I think you can, can't you?
But there aren't many countries that have a different window to us now. It's only really Turkey, isn't it? I think.
Well, keep him close to the
group
window. Keep him in the group, and then have a look then.
Yeah, there we go. Right now, next one. Someone's not happy. Ben Davis.
Gotta go.
He's staying, but you want him gone.
I just think.
Is he staying, or did they renew the contract to try and get some money from a Wrexham or someone?
I think they've kept him. I think they've kept him for keeping him to use him in the squad, but I think it's time to move on.
So you want to sell him?
Move on. Yes.
All right. Okay. I'll tell you what. And Connor?
Sell.
All right. So let's sell him. So, Connor, how much are we going to get for him?
Again, it's another 5 million, isn't it? At most.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how is the telethon raising money for Daniel Levy looking so far? How much
We're
we
at
got?
35 at the moment.
Wow, we're doing well here. 35 million. Right, Davis is gone.
Yeah.
And as long as I never have to hear the expression Daddy Davis ever again, I'd be delighted with that one. Right, moving on. Dragushin. Now I know that he is very injured, or is he back in training? Actually, no.
I'm not sure.
Dragushin. Right, Connor.
Sell.
Oh, it's a bit harsh. Go on, Gibbo.
I would sell him just because I think you'll get money for him. I think his best position is right centre back, and I think Danso's best position is right centre back, and I think Danso's better. And so I would rather sell him, and then if they want to get more squad depth at centre back, sign someone who's more naturally a left centre back.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was thinking keep him because obviously I think with different tactics and in slightly different formations, he could be useful. So I think he is strong in the air, good tackler. Not great coming out with the ball at his feet, but obviously we've got a coach now who could probably coach him a bit better with that. But Connor's probably right. We've got Danzo, and we need a left-sided centre back. So you probably and I don't think he'd be comfortable there. So I think probably sell and use that money elsewhere.
I mean, the thing I would say in his defence is that in the games that he played, in the games that he played, like where he had to do, and I know this sounds weird, defending and proper defending, headers and this, that, and the other, like City away, he was fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I think that he would probably be better in a Thomas Frank lineup. So I would keep him for optionality, but you two have sold him. So how much we get him for Dragushin?
I think you get 30.
Don't say 30. Daniel Levy.
I think less. I think less because the fact that foreign clubs have got no money. So I would say 20-25.
Okay.
We'll go 20.
Let's go 20. Let's go 20
All right.
now.
Okay. So Dragushin. So in time-honored fashion, if he goes to Milan next year and wins Serie A and we let in a lot of goals, I'll be leaking to the press that you two wanted him gone. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Tiny Dancer.
Keep. Move on.
But can I just say I do like him? I just like him.
Yeah.
Mickey Ryan session on hamstrings Van der Ven.
Gotta keep.
But what are we going to see out of him?
Oh, well, mate.
He won't be having to make those sprints anymore, will he?
Yeah.
So much. So maybe he won't.
Get injured as much. They'll start looking at at stuff like that and thinking more about how and when to play him and stuff like that. You've got more coaches coming in now. I think they'll look after him better. And I think it'll make a massive difference.
Okay, so we're keeping him, but if we've got one more season of banjo hamstrings, he's got to go. All right.
Then
I mean it. I've had enough of his hamstrings. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. The next one. Now there's a typo on this, Connor. There is a typo because it's QT Romero. It says link with a move away. You just to Atletico. It should read link with a move away to anyone. Right. So I'll start, and you'll be surprised at what I'm about to say. He's 2 years left on his contract. It's a World Cup year next year, where his commitment to the Tottenham shirt is even less than it normally is. Now everyone's going to go. Some people have said on Twitter that Frank should make him captain. Yeah. Which I find laughable. Okay. So the latest one, I mean, his social media team was released the Ange tribute the minute that Frank was announced, which made me chuckle. It's World Cup season next year. There was something about his family don't like the cold of England.
Yeah.
They've only just suddenly discovered this after 4 years. Maybe it was the tree that was fallen down but cut down next to the training ground that finished off QT's family in enjoyment of England. He's got 2 years left. It's World Cup year next year. Everyone will go, look how amazing he was in the final. Look how amazing he was in the semi-final. For the amount of money we paid for him and the quality that he has, he should be doing that week in and week out and wanting to for our club. So I am saying, sell him.
Yep, fair enough. I think he's top class when he wants to be, and that's a problem. And I think we're going to need, if we're really going to push on, I think we're going to need everybody in.
So hang on, you're in, you'll keep, yeah?
No. I think if he really wants to go and you can agree a fee with someone, and that's going to be the tricky bit, I think, for him, then I would sell. As long as we bring someone in. I don't think we'll be able to get anyone as good, but as long as we get somebody in, very good.
But hang on, I've just got the transfer committee papers from the January window here. Let's not forget the bids that we made at the end of the January transfer window.
Yeah.
We're recycling that, aren't we?
Well, going back in for Gay, that's the guy I'd go for.
Yeah. So that's 2 out, Connor.
I accept everything that you say because it's all true, but I also am of the view that he is on his day top class. I think if we replace him, we'll have to do it with multiple signings by getting a 6 that can pass as well as a centre back that can defend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're missing him in build up a lot as well. I also, to be honest, I don't think he will go because I don't think anyone is going to stump up the money that we should be getting for him. Should we sell him? But given this is a hypothetical exercise and I'm already outvoted, and we assume that we'll get the money we should, I would keep him personally because of those reasons, and sell him with it. Because to be honest, it sounds like Atletico only want to go to 40 million, and at that sort of price point, I don't see the point. You might as well sell him next summer.
What do you think we'll get for it?
You still get 40 million next summer.
Yeah.
We should be getting 70, in my view.
Can you imagine the lack of? I want you to imagine the lack of games that he will play for us in a World Cup year. Okay, if you thought this year was ridiculous, try next year. Okay,
and that's the really annoying part about it that we have got, and I know everyone doesn't agree. We have got a world class centre back on our books, and we just can't. And we just can't get enough football out of it. We can't get him to play enough where everybody looks at him and goes, he is absolute top draw quality. We just can't get enough performances out of him. So
but I think he's disrespected the shirt as much as Ndombele and Gali. Anyway, let's move on from him because he could be here all night.
How much?
How much are we getting? Come on, Connor. You're the numbers man. What are we getting?
Well, let's say we get what we should. Let's say we get 60 million pounds.
Yeah,
that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Anything less than that is outrageous, to be honest. Someone said making captain. On the captain thing, I mean, I don't think it sets the best example, does it? If you make someone captain who puts out that sort of outrageous, and there are bits of that statement I like because I hate Levy, right? And he's digging the ball out a little bit, but the timing of the statement was pretty outrageous and pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, and like Frank has this no dickheads rule, and no matter how much I like him, he's come across as a bit of a dickhead, hasn't he?
Yeah, and
on more than one occasion.
And an eminent podcaster said that they said that if you're you agree with QT because you hate Levy. Well, actually, you can actually disagree with QT and still hate Levy. It's entirely possible. Right, let's move on. Right, so we're getting 60 million. How's that kitty looking now? This is it.
Getting towards
115 now.
Woo!
Well,
we're heading down the Ivy to do a deal, aren't we? Right, let's go. Jed Spence.
Keep.
Keep. No, I want to keep him.
Yeah.
But he can't chuck his toys out the pram, understandably, like he did in the last 6 weeks of the season. Thomas won't part of it. But I think he's got a big role to play next season and he'll give competition on both sides. So let's keep him. Destiny or Doggy?
Keep.
I would be saying keep, but I want to see that Europa form in the Premier League, Destiny.
100%.
But the good news is, mate, you're not inverting anymore. No more inverting
Yeah,
for anybody.
I think he'll be one of the players that comes off best actually.
Yeah.
Udogie with Frank coming in, I think it will massively benefit him.
Yes.
Being a proper fullback.
And don't forget the catchphrase of this summer is "Let's see what Frank can do with this player."
Yes.
I've seen it a billion times already.
The
all
new
right?
buzzword.
It's the new buzzword.
We can get rid of context. We can get rid of context now. Angie's gone. We can get rid of. Yep, the results were bad. This was bad. But you have to. We have to have. They had context. We can get rid of that now. And now it's let's see what Frank can do with them.
Absolutely. And if we do shit next season, someone somewhere might remind the Ange Undertakers that maybe we shouldn't have got rid of the avuncular Australian.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Let's put the marker down for that now. Right. Anyway, Pedro Porro.
Keep.
What about Pedro top right next season? Right up top.
No, he won't play there.
No, I quite like that. It was my idea, but that's why I'm not a football coach. Anyway, there we go. That's the defenders. Let's move on. We're doing well here. The transfer committee, you're doing well. We're doing very well. All right. We've made some good decisions.
We made some good money.
Here's the midfield. Let's go from the bottom. Donnelly. What do you think?
I sort of think keep him round the group. But what was it? He played last year, League One football. Maybe a step up. Maybe a loan, but a step up from there.
Where do you think he should go on loan, Gibbo?
QPR, West Brom, Birmingham.
Are there any other London clubs in the Championship? Is it Millwall still there?
Millwall, yeah.
I
would probably load him as well.
We've got a font. We've got a font complaint. We have got a font complaint.
I couldn't fit the size of this squad on the page, King Hoddle. That was why.
There's so much talent, King Hoddle, that we've had to make it in Braille. Okay. Right. So, what do you want to do, Donnelly, Connor? Sorry.
I'd probably load him to the Championship, but you know what? If they decide to keep him in the squad because he's on the B list and he's under 21, so he doesn't actually take a squad place for either, and he's someone good to have in and around the squad, I'm happy with that as well.
Yeah,
but I
would. Loan him, but I think loan him to a Championship club. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, yeah, Alfie. Is it Alfie? Alfie Devine.
Alfie Devine, yeah.
I think that's a difficult one. He's been doing what he did well abroad, didn't he? But I don't really know a lot about him. But if the club, I think it's getting to the point with him now. He's been around for quite a while, hasn't he? So I know he's still not that old, but you've got to make a decision on him now. You sort of must know what he's all about. You either have a proper look at him, or maybe just time to move on.
So what are you doing with him?
Loan him in this country.
Okay.
Top end of the Championship if you can.
Okay. I'll loan him.
I'm selling him.
You're selling him? Ooh.
Yeah, just because I think he's... How old is he now? He must be early 20s now, mustn't he?
Let's have a look.
I'll have a look. Have a look while I talk. But yeah, I think it gets to the stage with these players that, if they're not breaking into the squad at that age...
20 years old. It'll be
21.
It'll be 21 on the 4th in August.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so
I think he's
some money for him. Time to go.
All right. How much? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll change my mind. Let's get rid. How much are we getting for him? 2.5.
5?
5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5s are.
5 is the magic number. Yeah. All righty.
Anything less than 5 seems ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Chuck 5 in the kitty, mate. Let's go.
5.
Right.
Yeah.
Kulu.
Keep.
Yeah, I would keep. I've put him here on midfielders, but he easily could have gone on wingers forwards. But then King Hoddle would have complained even more, I think, when he sees the next page about the size of the font. So, I put him on midfielders because he's probably better inside. But I would keep him. But do you know what? I accept the argument to sell him.
Well, I got to be honest with you. This time last year, I said sell him. If a good offer came in, sell him because I was sick and tired of him stepping inside on his left foot, and we waited 5 minutes for the cross to come in. Right. I think he had a very good first half of the season. He got injured, and he never ever got to where he was. I want to see competition for places, And if he can't make it, I want to see genuine competition for the places,
Yeah.
and he's in the mix.
I want to see what Frank can do with him.
Well done. So we're keeping him.
Keith. Just very quickly, my worry with him is, and I rate him as a player, but I do think he's someone you'd get money for. One and two, how does he fit in?
Yeah, well,
Frank's system, particularly if we sign Eze as we all want us to sign. So you've got Maddison and Eze who can both play inside. I'm not sure he's the inside forward as Frank plays if he plays out wide. But let's keep him for now.
I think once we move on, I think that could be the answer to Eze. I would keep Kulusevski. Dave, you keep him?
I would keep him, but if Pep, rings me up with a nice bottle of Spanish red wine and goes, "Here's a cheeky 80 million," I'd give it a real think about it.
Well, this is what I'd move on then, Dave. Next one up.
All right, moving on. Right, because we actually chicken. Yeah. Right, Maddison.
I'd sell him.
I'd sell him.
I'd sell him. I was saying this in our group today. I was saying, the thing with Maddison is, I'm going to tell you exactly what I said. Are we going to keep Maddison? And we'll go through this this never-ending cycle, building up some form, getting injured, then coming back, building towards some form, getting injured, coming back, talking a good game, getting injured. That's how I see Maddison, and I think I'd sell Maddison. And people saying, "Oh well, if we bought Eze, I'm not sure where we'd play him." I'd sell Maddison, and I would play Eze either sort of on the left, or I would play him in that Maddison role. I don't think Maddison's all that. I would sell him and buy somebody who's he's always injured. Like you talk about Romero being injured because he wants to play not playing games. He wants to play for Argentina. We don't get enough out of Maddison for what we want. And I just think that is him.
Maddison was always getting injured so he can go to the darts with Brennan, right? That's first.
Yeah. I don't think he's a bad player.
Secondly, his missus expecting another set of twins.
Yeah.
So that's 2 lots of twins plus another kid. He's never going to sleep, right? So that's another issue. But well done to them and congratulations. And thirdly, as I always say, he's a 1/3 a season player. He did remind me of Mickey Hazard in his pomp. But as far as I'm concerned, here's what I would do. I would sell Maddison and potentially get Jack Grealish on a season loan.
Mate, absolutely. I think far too often we've been like, "Oh, Maddison's he's getting some real form. He's been really good the last 2 games." And then he like the City game. And then when we played Brentford at home and he was really good. Literally 2 weeks after, he's injured. Now, he's not as bad as Coco Lamela, but if you sell him, I know people will say... People will say he's our only creative player. But if we're selling Maddison, we're bringing in somebody better, aren't we?
Not a trio. Paul said a trio of nutters. I don't agree with that. I'm exempt from this decision on selling Maddison. Right, on Maddison, I've obviously been outvoted, but I'll give you my view. I think he's one of the most underrated players. I think you look at his goal and assist return. I would guess this season alone he's returned more than Grealish has in 5 seasons combined. I also don't think we'll pay Grealish's wages.
No way.
I think he could do with someone as a real rotation. So I would still sign Eze, but I would keep Maddison because I would then rotate the 2 of them in that.
Yeah, but is Eze a number 10?
He can play there.
He's played inside mostly for Palace this year, I think, or sort of inside forward, isn't it, as well?
Okay.
So you've got the option of playing him inside if Maddison's injured, as he does get injured a lot.
So that's a lot.
On the left. So I would keep him definitely. I think he's a. I think when Tottenham have played well, it's because Maddison has played well.
Mate, I get it. I'm on the other side. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good player. And when we signed him, I was really happy. But I don't think we've ever seen the Maddison I believe that we were getting.
We did in the first 10 games of now 2 seasons ago.
I don't think we've seen anywhere. And mate, like I said, if he stays, that's great. But I'm just looking at us wanting to challenge for the top 4 or 5 and push on in the Champions League, get towards the knockouts. and I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's. I'm not sure he's at that level.
I think I can see him and Frank not getting along.
I'm not convinced.
The
And
other
one
thing
thing I
is,
just want to say, sorry, is like, I know it's not a good barometer, but you look, and England have got some great players in that midfield, but he's never really had a crack, has he? Nobody in that, in those circles, England managers, well, nobody's ever really been interested in giving him a crack in that role, have they?
And
that is our most heavily, you've got
we've got some,
Foden, who was player of the season. You got Bellingham, who played. So that is in his defence. I mean,
absolutely
I think,
defence. But
and I also think that.
Go on, sorry.
We're going to have to move on, but I do also think that I think Ange also had him dropping too deep at times. And when he was playing further forward, that was when you saw him at his most dangerous.
Right.
I think Frank will do that in terms of that sort of Damsgaard role at Brentford. So look, I respectfully disagree, but I've been outvoted.
So how much we getting?
30.
40.
I don't think.
If we're going to get our money back on him, I reckon we'll get 25.
I'm saying 30.
Definitely can't sell him.
All right, well, let's get 30. Okay, stick it in the kitty. Let's move on. We're rolling
and
here.
You've lost a homegrown player as well. Look.
Well, we don't care about that. Right, Archie Gray.
Keep.
But he needs to show a bit more as a number 6.
Well, he needs help with that, doesn't he?
Yeah, Bergvall, who was, of course, in the Grumpies of the Year awards, he was voted best signing and best player of the season. So keep. Right. Papa Martasar, if we get a decent offer, sell him.
I'd keep him for another year.
I'd keep him. I'd like to see what Frank can do with him.
Well done.
No, I know I said that to take the piss, but seriously, I think he can. I think he's got. There's attributes which we haven't got lots of, and he can get around the pitch. He can strike a ball. He can strike a ball. I think there's just bits that need fine tuning with him.
Well, let's not forget how you described him last year as one of his attributes, Gibbo. You said he's got legs.
Yeah, he's got legs. He knows how to use them.
So, Connor, you're keeping him, yeah?
I'd keep him. Just.
So I think King Hoddle's going to be frothing in a minute. I think he's about to explode in his living room. He's not happy.
I think he's on the red wine tonight.
Yeah,
he's not happy at all. He's not happy with us at all.
He's on the red wine. He's on Kante.
He's gonna be linking. He's gonna be linking to the rest. Right, Yves Bissouma.
Sal.
And
I like Bissouma. I think he's a decent player, but yeah.
I don't. I mean, he's consistent. He's consistently inconsistent. Consistently inconsistent. So he's going.
15.
How much? 15. How long's left on his contract?
A year. It's not long.
I don't know whether it's next year or the year after, but
no, I think it's a year. All right, what 15 million? Stick it in the coffers, Connor. This is it. We're building momentum.
I think you'd get 20.
No, 15. Transfer committee overruled you. Right.
Okay.
Now here's one, and we're not going to call him Lolo.
No.
Rodrigo Bentancur.
Yeah, I'd keep.
Hey.
Okay, hang on 1 second though.
Prime Bentancur was awesome.
Just going back to Bissouma, the transfer committee here, sitting here, Kerry.
We do not do
vibes, Kerry. And frankly, that's possibly a first warning for you. It's bad enough that Keith is late, but now that is a yellow card, Kerry. We don't do vibes. All right. Nor do we say Lola. No. So anyway, Bentancur, you're saying keep him.
Absolutely.
I think he's a number 8. He's not a number 6.
Exactly that, yeah.
But we need a squad as well.
All right, but he's got to sign a new contract.
Yes.
So what?
Let's assume he will.
Would you make him part of a leadership group if he signs a new contract?
Possibly.
Has he ever given an interview in English? Not that I'm being just to be clear, a
That's
right-wing bigot.
disgusting, then.
I think we need to keep him away from interviews, don't we? Anyway,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Good
that's
point.
the best course of action.
But let's not forget, this is the transfer committee, not the comms committee. So let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now let's get through to our. Okay. I think King. Before we move on, at long last, King is happy.
We agree. Don't worry,
We've
King.
done it
King's
for you.
King's happy with the transfer committee. Thank God for that.
I thought he was going to switch over to Irish Hotspur if we carried on.
Yeah, I think so. Right. Now, King, he's now not going to be happy again because if you thought that the last two slides were in Braille, this is now right. I think let's start from the bottom. Lancashire
Loan.
Where's he going?
West Brom,
Championship
QPR,
again.
Birmingham.
That's saying about West Brom.
Millwall.
Right, Dane Scarlett.
Sal. Yeah, Sal.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm fine
Connor.
with Sal.
Right, how much are we getting, Connor?
9 mil.
It's that magic 5, isn't it? Again.
No, I think
Let's
we'll
let's
get
go.
more.
Let's go
Connor.
8 mil.
8 mil. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something, Connor, these low balling of the prices, I think you're on the take with the agents. We need to have a look into this conduct here. All right, okay. Now, this is the next player I'd like to pay special tribute to. If you remember, we sold our record club goal scorer of all time, Harry Kane, and replaced him in the squad with, ladies and gentlemen, the Lees.
Sal.
So definitely. I mean,
I reckon we bought him for about 11 million, didn't we?
I think it was more. I think it was 17 million or something. It was
You're
going up to,
joking.
We've got a new
5
sponsorship. We've got a new
5 million.
There's a new sponsorship opportunity here. Vision Express. Fantastic.
What do we reckon for the Lees then? 5?
5. 5?
5, yeah.
Right, 5. Okay, that's 5. Here we go. Solanke.
Keep.
I'm going to keep him on one provision that we put some crosses in the box to him this year.
Or make some chances for him.
That's the part. It's revolutionary. Let's do something. Right. Richarlison.
Sal. Just not available enough.
How much is he going to make? Sell. How much are we going to get for him? 20?
Yeah.
Do the Blue Noses want him for the stadium opening? Do we send him back there?
Yeah, Everton.
You hope Saudi get involved, don't you? And you might get a bit more, but let's assume.
Everton like him, don't they? The fans like him.
Yeah, but then I'm assuming
sell him for 40, buy him back for 20.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all going to be in what we owe Everton, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
well.
So anyway, Richarlison, he's gone. So what are we putting in the kitty? 20?
20 million.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting closer to the magic 200 here. I'm excited. Mikey Moore.
We're very close. Yeah.
Oh,
More
nice.
loan for more.
I would keep him just because I think it'll be helpful to have on the B list for Champions League, which you'll see at the end. To fill that.
I'd keep him, but I'm a bit concerned about we got a congestion of players on the left up top, right? So Brian Hill, I think what we should do is give him another 3-year contract and loan him out every year for the 3-year contract.
I think Brian Hill should just be going on a free. We won't even get money for him.
How long has he got left for his contract now?
I think he's done.
Well, we did have some agreement. Girona had an option, I think, but they're trying to renegotiate it, of course.
They just don't want to pay the money.
Should we say 5?
Shall we say 3 million?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
we get
hang on a sec. Sorry, hang on 1 minute.
I know.
Still more vibes from Kerry.
She won't listen, will she? She just will not listen.
She won't listen. We might have to block her. So Brian Hill, as I've always said, the best thing he ever did was facilitate the sale of Coco Lamela. Right, next one. Yang Min Hiek. He was loan.
Take him on the tour. Take him on the tour and then loan him out.
Tour to where, Gibbo?
We're going out to Korea, aren't we, or something?
Oh, I'm sorry, Gibbo. This is the transfer committee. Again, if you're telling me off for Bentancur not doing an English interview, and now we're just keeping players just because of the pre-season tour.
Well, we'll be moving on. I think that's what could be happening, Dave.
Okay. Now the next one, we're not going to Man of Solomon, and let's just talk about the football.
I think I'd move him on. I'd sell him.
I'd sell him as well, just because I think you get money for him.
Yeah,
and it's pure profit as well, isn't it?
His stock's quite high at the minute, isn't it? His stock is, it's in a good place. After he had a good season for Leeds, so
yeah.
Reluctantly, I would sell him to Leeds, where I think we'll get some money for him.
Yeah.
For non-footballing reasons, I'd like to keep him so I can put my middle finger up to certain people. But let's move on. Son.
Sal.
15 million for Solomon, I've said, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, 15. Yeah, all right. Son.
Sal.
Sorry, hang on a minute. What did you just say, Gibbo? You want to sell Sonny?
I want to sell Sonny.
You don't.
I want Son. I know. Oh, don't, Dave. Don't hurt my feelings. But I think it is. I think seeing him lift that trophy, deservedly so. But the performances we've seen from Son have got worse over time.
He was great. He was great when he came on in the final. The way that he kept the ball and soaked up the pressure, didn't get caught pace. I thought it was excellent.
I think as a club, probably best for us to move on. We're sort of going it. Oh, I know. Kerry's upset.
Oh no.
Just think it's time. I just think it's the right time for him and for the club.
But hang on, just 1 minute. I've just got a contract here for. Just want to bring to the transfer committee's attention. I've got the Korean friendly contract here, and it says we can't sell him until we played the friendly.
Oh well, there you go then, Dave.
Well, no, but after the friendly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because because this transfer committee is not letting commercial decisions get in the way of the football, correct?
Yeah.
Because the Red Wine Club told us so. Do you remember?
Yeah. It's all about trophies now.
It's all about trophies and not contracts and friendlies. So, Connor, do you want to sell him?
I sell him just because I agree with everything Gibbo just said, but with the recognition that I think he's probably been our best purchase ever.
100%, mate.
In terms of...
Go on.
Yeah, in terms of longevity, loyalty, getting to be world class at one point, commercially.
Was he really world class at one? Was he really world class?
He was a world class finisher. There's absolutely no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
I would sell him now.
Okay, and how much we can hang on? I mean,
30 million, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's going to pay? Who's paying that?
Turkey.
Turkey are paying 30 million. Where are they getting the money from?
They just always have,
aren't they?
But there's talk. I read today. I mean, obviously, just through the aggregators and that there's like about 3 or 4 Saudi teams that are interested.
How many Saudi teams are there?
5 or 6. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we're throwing. I think you're being very optimistic, but 30 in it goes. Who we got next? Now, obviously, we've signed him. Hang on a minute. Hang on a second. I've got his contract as well. The ink is not yet dry on the Tell contract. Okay.
I don't think we can vote on this one. We can't vote on this one, can we?
No.
Someone very, I thought, amusingly said that selling Kane and then getting in Tell was like selling Berbatov and getting in Fraser Campbell. Is that unfair?
Slightly. I said to you, a little bit harsh. I'm not massive. If we hadn't signed Tell, I wouldn't have been that bothered. I'm not massively all in on him. And what I watched towards the end of the season, I was like, said to my lad, he's not all that. But he's signed now, and I think he deserves a fresh start. He's signed. He's on a long-term contract. He deserves a fresh start, and everybody to give him a clean slate. Let's see what you're all about now, because the teams he came into last year and the setup and the sort of desire for those teams to win and all that, pretty shit, really. So you're trying to. I don't think he was great, but judging players on that, very difficult. So clean slate for me. Let's see what he can do. Fingers crossed.
If you're telling me that
Let's
we've
see what
signed,
Frank can do with him.
hey, well done.
Yeah,
If you're telling me that Tell is the permanent 30 million signing, and we're not going to get Mbumo, we're not going to get Eze, we're not going to get established players, and that's not the standard of players we're going to get this summer.
No, it can't be, Dave. It can't be. He's good
I
to be
will
squad.
I will be getting my change for Tottenham poster out again.
Back out,
All right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be dusting it down.
And we wouldn't expect anything else, Dave.
Because obviously now that we've won a Europa League, that I'm fully Levy in these days.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We flip-flop, don't we, Dave?
We do flip-flop. Right,
You
okay.
do it on an interview.
Finishing off, because we've not got much longer. So so the next one, Wilson Odobert. So I just want to get the minutes from our meeting last season, where of course it said, you know what, if there's someone that we should buy, it's a Burnley winger. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So
gotta keep.
Connor?
I'd keep him for one. Yeah, we got to give him a go. I mean, he was injured for the majority. Keep.
He can play both wings, can't he?
Yeah. I think he's a squad player at this point, isn't he? And he's under 21, so that helps. So, yeah.
Well, Connor, I mean, well done, because I think you're the first one to have said. I think you're the first one who says a squad player, because what we normally say in here is someone's really good to come off the bench, but the problem is you got to have 11 players to start. So I'm very meh. I'll keep him, but I'm very, very meh about him.
Same.
Yeah.
He could be next season's Werner. And finally, in the great Parthenon of Ricky Villa, Alan Nielsen, Jonathan Woodgate, Glenn Hoddle from a penalty, he's scored a goal-ish that lifted a trophy. First of all, to the co-chair of the Brennan Johnson fan club, Gibbo.
Keep him. Obviously, they tried to buy him at Brentford. Not his biggest fan. Let's see what Frank can do with him. But, you know, he's got, once again, for me, there's a place in this. He will be an excellent squad player. If we get in, well, he will. If we get the right players in, he's a fantastic squad rotation option. I just don't. Do not. When you look at his all-round game, Champions League footballer, he is not. But Premier League.
So you're keeping him?
Games, yeah, keeping him.
Connor.
I'd keep him, but I don't want him to start.
Right. Okay, well, I'm outvoted. I'd sell him. All right? Sell him. Enough's enough. Now, we've got one last player to consider, and then we'll total it up. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Charles III. He's had a great season. He can do a job. He's obviously our king.
The obligatory King Charles slide to show what it's really all about.
I thought Kerry's comment was about him then. which I'm enjoying a lot.
Yeah, well, what, is that Johnson or King Charles III? Well, anyway, listen. We're keeping King Charles III.
How much corn we got then?
Right, so come on then, Connor.
246 million.
Lads, can I just check? Are we spending this so we can keep all our like 19 live viewers and probably the other 480 who watch on catch up if we're lucky? Are we telling them they've got all week and next week we are spending this money?
There's that, my friend, is a very good idea. So can we just remember, because Connor, you got to bear in mind as you're a lot younger than us, your memory is a lot better. We've got 246 million to spend next week. Okay.
Plus, are the club putting any money into this, or are we only spending what we make?
Connor, over to you.
Let's assume the club is doing 100 million on top, shall we?
Could we? Now, hang on. Are you? Sorry, is that ENIC money, which averages 5 million a year, or club money?
Club money, of course.
But that's Gibbo sat outside Beyonce last night.
Yes.
That's this jumper
That's
this jumper that was bought for me by my ex-work colleagues. So thank them.
Yeah.
So Connor, how are you contributing? I'm not hearing anything.
My season ticket. There you go.
At a considerably bigger cost than driving to Beyonce and a jumper that I didn't even pay for. So thank you, Connor. Actually, you have got the moral high ground. He's now got the moral high ground the whole bloody season.
He has the final say.
He has really got the final say. So, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow members of the Transfer Committee, that does conclude our business for the Transfer Committee. We've raised 246 million. I think the highlights are Maddison, unhappiness, King Hoddle. Hang on a minute. It's the final frothing from King Hoddle.
That's Werner's wages.
And Keith Parker may have turned up on time, but he seems to have disappeared altogether.
Now it's cooled down. He took the dogs out for a walk.
He has. So, Gibbo, do you want to wrap things up?
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Great chat in the live chat. We've gone through this. We have King Hoddle. We have got 246 million to spend next week. Now we need to work out from our slides where the gaps we've got to plug in the squad, haven't we?
No,
we got some big gaps.
Yeah. No, that's being sensible. We're not doing that.
Okay, we're non-sensible transfers next week then. So 246 million. I hope you'll be here, Dave, to do that, and you will be, Connor. Because obviously, Connor, you're the money man. You need to tell me and Dave if we're going over the top, what we can afford to spend, what we can't afford to spend.
Yeah, we got 246 plus the 5 million for me, Nick. So that's 251.
And yeah, we'll be spending that next week. Did you enjoy that tonight, Connor? A little bit of work? Yeah, doing your day job, sorting all the money and stuff out?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
he only had to add up. He only had to add it up a bit, you know.
Yeah.
But Dave, looking forward to that next week, spending some money.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Okay, so right, everyone in the live chat, like we said, thanks. Please follow us on the socials and help us build our profile on Twitter. Please please subscribe if you don't already. Don't even really know what the algorithm is, but apparently it helps the algorithm, I'm told. So if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. But obviously, as we always finish, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
You Spurs.